It's come to my attention that some of you are not hip. Okay, not hip to the game whatsoever, and I feel like it's my duty to educate you on this topic while my girl's back there asleep. Okay, I'm gonna begin by showing y'all a clip, and let me know if I'm tripping. Okay, so basically, it looks like these two are on a date, and she's not eating her food. Okay, what could this be about?
Well, I'm confused. You hungry or what?
I am, but you know me, I'm a smoker. Sometimes it just, my appetite, it's not the same when like everything's in balance. I didn't eat all
You need
day.
the munchies.
I need that type of like, to eat. I usually don't like food unless it's so hot, and like right when it comes out, I don't have no appetite.
You gotta take at least 2 bites, 2 more bites.
Sound like my mom. My mom, 2 more bites. My mom used to do that too.
Now let me get big on you real quick. Does that not seem a bit off to you? Like, is that not like just like not a normal thing? By the way, what a random thing to get a clip of and post on Twitter, bro. And it actually like blew up. But anyways, let me get to my point, okay? A little on you real quick. I said y'all have to understand 90% of women sadly have eating disorders. I think that's an eating disorder. I mean, objectively it is actually. And people are in the comments arguing with me, and I'll get to that in a second. But the thing is, you have to understand like that right there, like a lot of people don't understand really what eating disorders are. Like all this, oh, like I'm hungry, but like I'm not though. Oh, I need to smoke. Like needing a substance before you eat is like classic eating. Like literally, I would know not to suck my own meat, right? But this is kind of my area of expertise. Like a lot of you watching this video even possibly probably have some form of eating disorder but don't even know it. Like the issue is a lot of people deem the only way you can have an eating disorder as, oh, you're anorexic, you literally don't eat, you're skin and bones, or you force yourself to throw up. When in reality, any sort of eating habits that aren't normal, that shouldn't be the case, is a disorder. You know, when, because I've told you guys this before, I was in an eating disorder facility, okay? So I know all the tricks. Like, if you chew too much, it's considered eating disorder. She's back there moaning. I don't mean like in general, just like, I don't know, some people just chew a lot, but I mean, there are some people who chew so much so they don't really have to feel the food going down. Like, that's disorder. There are people who like have to like cut all their food up, okay? People who can't deal with food touching. If you've ever been hungry and decided to drink a caffeinated beverage to curb your hunger instead of eating. Editing BRS here, literally had to add this one post. Don't know how I forgot it. Not being able to eat by yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you know, those jokes where it's like, oh, like, you know, we're going out to like get something to eat, but now he doesn't want one, so I can't get it. And he thinks I'm fat. Blah, blah. Like that is eating disorder. Like not being able to eat by yourself is a problem, like needing other people, or also not being able to eat around other people. See, there's so many things. Like, I feel like a lot of people, again, you have this big umbrella term, eating disorder, and you're like, okay, anorexia, bulimia. But you have to understand, it's essentially just disordered eating, right? It doesn't have to be that big of a thing for you to have an eating disorder. And then again, I've been getting pushbacks in the comments like, no, like that's not dieting, right? Like there's a difference between dieting and having an actual eating disorder. Like changing up your eating style for health benefits is different than being legitimately afraid of food. Like there are foods, bro, I'm like afraid of them. There's no, like a lot of you probably have normal approaches to certain foods, right? Like say you want to eat a strip of bacon and you're like, okay, you know, bacon, yeah, it's a bit greasy, it's a bit fried, not the best for you, but I like the taste of bacon. I'm gonna eat it. Like that's you, right? Me, on the other hand, I could look at bacon and be like, oh my gosh, it's gonna turn me into a fat, ugly slob and no one's ever gonna want me in life. That's a disordered thought. So yes, there are people who diet, who have eating disorders and are dieting because they have an eating disorder, but obviously those are two different things. And mind you, they're talking about this for this video. She didn't say anything about dieting. She said she needed to smoke to eat. Any sort of unhealthy relationship with food can be disorder. Whether that be you having to eat at certain times, again, you being afraid of specific foods, it can all be part of the problem, okay? And oftentimes these things can be put on you, like you can be raised as a child to have these fears because you're raised by people with eating disorders. You know, eating disorders are like some of the hardest things to diagnose because people think it's just so normal. Because think about how hard it already is to diagnose someone with like depression or anxiety. Like, cause think about like some people are anxious. They're like, okay, I just get concerned about things like the normal amount, but turns out they don't. People are like, oh, you know, I'm just sad sometimes. You know, most people are sad. It's like, you know how many people want to, I don't know if I can say it on here, but people want to unalive themselves, right? I mean, actually, I'm one of these people. I thought that was like normal for the longest time. I thought it was something everyone was dealing with, but like people just didn't talk about it for whatever reason. Like to some of you, and again, it's still hard for me to believe, to some of you, that might sound insane. You might be like, what? BRS? Like, what are you talking about? Like, no, that's a very real thing, bro, that some people believe. So again, you could be sitting here, and if you're a smoker or drinker, be like, hey man, I just have to smoke before I eat. Like, I really need the munchies in order to like really enjoy the food. You just think that's normal. You might think it's more of like just a drug thing, a smoking thing. But no, bro. That's some disordered eating. And also the thing about disordered eating, a lot of people don't understand, is it doesn't mean inherently that you have body image issues. However, I will say, when it comes to the video that we just watched, and she's known to have a BBL. Okay, so in my mind, I'm like, people are like, oh, why are you assuming like she's insecure about her body? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, if someone got plastic surgery in order to change how they look, is it really off the board that they might not eat so much to, preserve certain things? Like, is it like, I feel like that would be like target one of like, if you were to guess who had an eating disorder, people who had plastic surgery. Okay, but again, it's not like gotcha, like it's not that kind of thing, right? I'm not trying to be ED busters, like ghost buster. I'm like, hey, this person has an eating disorder. Actually, not gonna lie, I love it, because I'm not having an eating disorder myself. I love being able to like identify other people with it. I feel like that must be how people feel about like gaydar. But anyways, I have EDDAR. Okay, and the thing a lot of people don't understand about it is, again, it doesn't inherently mean that you have image issues. Some people, and again, I found this out when I was in the hospital, because I thought like, okay, everyone like with ED, it was because like there was like a lot of focus on their body or whatever. Bro, when I was in facility, I found there are people there who didn't want to be skinny. It was like, there was one instance, this girl, she basically saw her brother die by like choking on food. So she was like forever afraid of food. Like, she was afraid to eat because she was afraid she was going to die. And a lot of people had like other stuff going on in their lives, certain traumas, and not eating was the only thing they felt like they could control. Because think, what you put in your body is one of the only things you can control, right? So it's like, if you can't control anything else, your life is, it's doing things to you, doing nasty, it's bending you over, spanking you on the butt, slipping a finger in you. Whoa, you could tell yourself, man, if I don't eat, at least I have control of that. At least I have that thing. And that's it for a lot of people. So that, again, that's the reason it's hard to diagnose, because some people are like, what? Like, I don't think I'm fat. Like, I look in the mirror, I like how my body looks. I'm completely fine with it. So I can't have an eating disorder. That's not necessarily true. And also, speaking of bodies, fat people have eating disorders. How do you think they got fat? And that's the problem some people are having in the comment section to that tweet, right? Because I said 90%. Obviously, 90%, it's just throwing a number out there. Not gonna lie. I can't think of a woman I've met in my life who's never had an eating disorder. Now, obviously, I'm not saying diagnosed eating disorder, but I mean something where it's like, oh my gosh, like I can't eat this. Oh, I'm hungry, but I can't eat right now because I'll get fat. Like, again, even stuff like that. You know how many times, again, I'm an eating disorder guy. You know how many times like I'll be like, oh man, I can't eat right now. I ate earlier. Like, that's not a normal thing to say. Like, that's not a normal thing to believe. Unless you had like 4 meals, bro. Unless you had like 5 meals, like, come on, bro. You can eat multiple times in a day. But anyways, fat people, they have eating disorders. That's how they get fat. Binge eating too, like, because here's the thing about fat people, right? And people don't like when I talk about fat people. I'm just gonna tell you this right now. There are certain people at certain sizes, and I don't mean anyone who's overweight, okay? I mean people who are obese. Like, everyone would agree it's obese. Everyone would agree they're not healthy. There is no reason for someone to get that big. There's no reason for someone to accidentally get that big. There are clearly some eating issues, like eating your feelings, bro. Like, that's disordered eating. Like, do you see, like, I feel like people don't understand, especially these people, I mean, it's fucking Twitter niggas, but like, they don't understand how wide of a net, how wide of a term eating disorder actually is. Then also, they don't understand how many people are weird about eating. And again, they don't understand what is weird. And look, I said women in the tweet because things, again, I'm thinking about like women I know personally. A lot more men than you think have eating disorders too. It's just unfortunately a very common thing, right? And my point of it being an unfortunately common thing, a thing that isn't really talked about, like, again, people only talk about it when it's someone making themselves throw up or literally not eating anything. It should be discussed quite a bit more. But a lot of people, and you'll see, let me get a little on you, they're really stuck on this whole 90% number I made up. Yeah, I made that up. I didn't. And I feel like this is a normal thing to say. Like, people say things like this, like, oh, 90%. Like, am I crazy? Because you're going to see in these comments, bro, people are like, oh, you're making up these numbers. And it's like, yeah, like, I didn't say studies show. Like, I just said 90%. But then someone said that maybe like 30%. No, when I tell you, literally, hold up. I gotta get big on you real quick. Literally, and obviously this is anecdotal, but when I tell you, like, every woman I've come across has some shit going on. How do you think I found out I had an eating disorder? Well, yes, obviously, like, when almost died and went to the hospital. That was kind of like, the nail in the coffin. But like, I was talking to women about like eating, like I was like, oh yeah, like, I always make sure I do this, da, 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 da. And they're like, oh, me too, da, 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 da. Found out she had an eating disorder. And I was like, oh, if she has an eating disorder and we do the same thing, I also have an eating disorder. And then, women who are perfectly fine, perfectly physically fit, being like, oh, I can't eat. I can't eat another meal. I get fat, da, 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 da. Them making themselves throw up. Like, do you know, like, I feel like, and this is just me personally. Again, let me project this. If you disagree with my take about, again, 90% is a large number. If you say anything less than 50% of women have eating disorders, I'm going to assume that you haven't been around women much, or you're literally completely oblivious to not only disorders, eating disorders specifically, but just like what people around you are doing. But anyways, Lil again, bro, when I tell you this comment almost got me, when they said, are you fat by chance? I was about to be like, are you for real? Like I was about to like level up on them. But then I realized I was like, okay, wait, they don't know me. No, because when I tell you, as someone with an eating disorder, like statements like this, bro, kill me. Oh yeah, also something about eating disorders. Oh yeah, by the way, I was getting to this interaction in a second. Something about eating disorders. Never comment on someone with an eating disorder. Don't comment on their body. Don't tell them that. Like, I feel like people sometimes like think if you tell someone they're skinny, like it's good. You don't want to do that either, bro. It's kind of complicated to explain. Actually, it's not at all. Okay, the thing is, you don't want the person to be thinking about it at all. Like, if I'm eating, right, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, these are calories. They're going to contribute to my body. It's going to make everything so much worse. It's going to make it a nightmare. Now, mind you, me personally, I do want to hear my body's tea, but it's like every time I get told my body's tea, I'm like, I could make it even more tea by eating even less. But at the same time, if you told me I was fat, then I would also very much have to. That would probably be worse. But you know what I mean? So it's just like, if you can't say anything. And I'm saying this. Eventually, you're going to see my body, and I'm going to want you to tell me it's tea. Please tell me it's tea, bro. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I promise, like, I'll eat. But, like, I'm just saying, like, overall, like, it can get into people's head. That's why literally, like, when you think of, like, models, like, who have, like, great bodies, like, completely, eating disorder. And again, like, I definitely was not the only person on the football team with the eating disorder. When there's so much focus being put onto your body, that's when shit like that can really get to you. Okay, but look at this. I fucking hate Twitter, bro. That's why I don't be on here anymore. Okay, I said, are you fat by any chance? Sticking to a diet doesn't equal eating disorder. No one in the video said anything about diets. But anyways, I said notoriously skinny, actually. See, I had to go there with my response. And nobody mentioned dieting, as well as the fact that dieting and having an eating disorder aren't mutually exclusive. So I really don't know what you thought you were doing here. And said, since you want to talk, and notice, I give like this 3-line paragraph, ignores it entirely, right? When you pulled that out of your ass. I said, to ever claim this from anywhere else, it's a turn of phrase, little bro. See, I had the little bro in bit, bro, because fuck this guy. I hate him. But you see what I mean? Like, for some reason, like, people are like getting very angry about the statistic. And again, maybe she, in the video, she literally said she was hungry. She said she just needed to smoke before, bro. And it, like, again, this, I had to get like really, I had to be an asshole with it because they're like, oh, y'all be making up stats. Of course it was made up. Like, yo, YouTube, bro. Like, if I'm tweaking, tell me I'm tweaking. But is that not a common thing to say? Be like, oh yeah, like 90% of this is da 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 da, 90% of the time da 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 da, and it not be an actual like statistic you're pulling from something. But yeah, I told this dude I got I don't know if I could say this out loud. I said I got it from his mom's lady parts. Because they're like, oh, where'd you get this statistic? Your mom's loose lady parts. I like that. I love going after people's parents. And bro, like, what are you mad at? And mind you, it would be one thing, I feel like, if these were like a bunch of women in denial, like, okay. But these are men being angry about like the fact I'm saying women have eating disorders. When I feel like, not gonna lie, I feel like this is like relatively common sense, okay? And like, mind you, I'm showing you the people disagreeing, but there are people who are like, oh yeah, that's absolutely right. But someone said maybe one out, like again, if this is you, if you genuinely are like, oh yeah, maybe 1 out of 10 women have eating disorder, I don't think you know women. And I don't mean that in a way where I'm claiming to be like, oh, I'm Mr. Bitches, like, oh, this, I just know everything about women. I just mean like, if you know women, eating for a lot of them is not how it should be. And again, see, they're saying most women are fat, which is a crazy thing to say. But I'm like, see, I had to ask the point because again, fat people, even if like what he's saying is true, fat people have eating disorders. And it's just like, it sucks because these people are really dumb, right? But it's like, on Twitter, I can only give you, and this is why people don't like me on Twitter, and this is why my tweets always get so misunderstood. I can only give you one sentence. You know, like, what am I going to do? Like, me sitting here and explaining to you for, I don't know, like over 10 minutes, yes, it's going to make a lot more sense to you. But it's like people here, they just see a sentence and they don't know what to do. They can't control themselves. Bro, look what this guy said. He said, nah, it's when you suddenly deep how much you've disappointed your dad for being a dirty hoe. What? What are we talking about? Wait, what? Is this what people are... Yeah, dude, okay, but she can't eat unless she smokes weed because she's addicted, not anything to do with her being a girl. Did people think this was like a misogynist tweet? Like, already say, like, say I had to respond to this right now, but like, is that what they think I'm saying? What do they? Does it come off as like I'm saying like, oh, like she has a eating disorder because she's a woman? Like it's like the woman is the cause of the symptom. What are we? Dude, I hate this app, bro. Like I gotta hard troll this guy. The thing is, I appreciate that, like, I guess they're not being like insulting with it, but I just think you're an idiot. Can you show me the source for this? Is this not clearly a turn of phrase? I'm gonna say Google is free. Okay, I'm gonna say Google's free, and I hope I'm imagining a scenario where they send me that Google saying that's not true, and I'm like, oh, you're using Google for your research or some bullshit like that. Because it's because I'm like, if you're gonna be this dumb, I'm not a troller, I'm not a rage baiter in general, but if you say some stupid shit to me on my post, I feel like I have no choice but to troll a little bit. But see what I mean? There are definitely people, they're like, yeah, at least 9% of every girl I know has some degree, and it's really sad. See, they know, bro. But I think these are the people that don't go outside, okay? These are the incels, like the ones who are disagreeing. And look, this is not classic, everyone who disagrees with me is an idiot. You know, just like in general, because there are people who disagree with me who aren't idiots some of the time. I don't know. I feel like I'm mostly very right all the time. But this in particular, not understanding my point here, though, that's idiotic, okay? Now, you know what I mean, bro? Like, I got people calling me slurs in the comments over this. Like, the things that make people angry on the internet will never cease to amaze me. But you see my point, bro. Like I had to show you all the nonsense. Like, I feel like I made my point earlier, like with the stuff I was saying. Like, I made good points. But like, when it comes to stuff like this, near the end, I gotta show you just the bullshit they be saying in the comments, man. It be the comments every time. But this is perfect timing, you know, wrapping up right here. And she is waking up, and I think she said she wants like a hug or something of the sort. And you know, yeah, she wants a hug. And I think I'm probably gonna partake in that. But again, this is like the end of the video. Let me think. State of affairs. Again, preparing for the move, man. Preparing for the move, but still giving y'all the juicy, girthy, meaty, veiny, long content. I'm giving them the content. The content. Okay. But anyways, thank you so much. Yes. Thank you so much for watching. And again, I'll have at some point I'll have a longer state of affairs. I still don't know if I want to do that like before or after I move. But thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, everything I have to say. I'm so sorry, and I love you. Okay, have a great day, night, evening, morning.